Received it today. It came from shopgoodwill.com. I can't even remember what I paid for it. It was under $70, I believe, shipping and all. I wish I would have had the print off, but I don't know what I did with it. So it's a pretty good deal. It's supposed to have 4 gigs of RAM, which is kind of bad. 4 gigs of RAM because it's two 2 gig sticks. I'm not a big fan of that. Rather just had one 4 gig stick would have been nice. And this is another system with an i5 4690K. It might have a 4590K. I'm not for sure. This piece here you can see, kind of fell inside, so it kind of got unsnapped. So I had to take the front panel off, which I believe is a lot of work to get off. Maybe I had to take the top off and then the front. And I got to get that fixed and put back in place. And then this got dented up here, the other one here. So you can see it has another one of these HP DVD ROMs. A card reader, which is kind of nice. I think I got another one of these too, but it has a USB port on it. So that seems pretty nice. It does have the Windows key on the top. It has no hard drive, so there's no operating system on it. So I'll zoom. Now, let's see how you can see that, right? Let's zoom this up. Let's see if I can get this unlocked. Let's zoom this up. And then lock that down. Okay, and move this closer. I didn't even pay attention. This is not like a big thing, but if you work on computers and you're gonna put this as like your just a system just sitting around, like normally, if I had multiple systems set up, I'd have at least 1, maybe 2 just for hard drive recoveries or cloning. This would be pretty ideal for that because of this right here. Like, you could just leave the computer sitting there and not hook in and out everything. You just put, if you're cloning off a hard drive, put a hard drive in his side here, and all you have to do is pop this drive in. Now you're good to go. You pop your, like I have the SSD. I had this prepared so I could see if this boots or not off a drive. So then you go. So if you're replacing your old hard drive, if someone came in and was like, hey, I have a hard drive, I want to put an SSD. So I take the original drive here, click it in here, put their new SSD right here. Or in the case, a laptop, you take their, like that. Yeah, that hard drive has nothing on it. But I did cover, the sticker wasn't here, so I covered that up. So just, maybe I'll leave it like that, where you can see better. So it has I believe this is a 200 mil fan on the very top. It does say Thermaltake because this is a Thermaltake case. I think this is a blue LED fan up front. So, and then the ports, we have a USB 2, a USB 3, but this is like one of these that, it isn't actually a USB. It is USB 3.0, but it's not hooked to the motherboard, just the extension. So then, as you can see, I have not cleaned this up. So then we do got plexi on the side. It says Thermaltake. Cool all your life. Cool all of your life. Okay. And then you can see in the side window. Let's see. There you can see in the side window. I'll wait to take that off because probably the glare. And so each side. So this has the little cutouts here. And then more cutouts here. And then same thing on this side. It has the cutouts. So you got your standard stuff. USB. Oh, that's kind of loose. So we got USB ports, a DVD. It has HDMI, VGA, 2.0 audio, and it has a Wi-Fi card in here, and it has a Quadra card in here, and you can see it has a loose. This is like a fan controller. An old school one is just a knob that ramp your fans up higher or lower. You see that still? Yeah, just pitch that up. Okay, my RAM back in. So, they did put another fan in the back. It is a Cooler Master fan. Doesn't look too dusty, but it says TP length for the Wi-Fi, and this is Cooler Master fan controller. Okay. Yeah, yes. Let's take this side panel off. It's got some unique kind of thumb screws. Are wider. They're wider and actually, you know, smaller than like a kind of a normal one. You see these two different. So this is a normal, typical one that I'd find on a computer case would be this, and here's these. But yeah, you can see much wider. Well, and the grip wise is the same, but it's way wider. So there's them. There's no fans on the side, so they have to worry about that. Cable management isn't that good. It is dusty, so I'm gonna lower this so we can see exactly what we're doing, right? So you can see what I'm doing. So here we go. So it is a little bit dusty, you know, like, well, that's a lot more dust than I thought. So we got, you know, some long red SATA cables hooked into the bottom. We do have an NVIDIA Quadra 600. The card's not even, you know, the card's in there, but not all the way. Like, it wasn't clipped. So I'll push that the rest of the way because we want to have that booting and running. 24 pins plugged in. It's an 8 pin. It's not hooked this. I think it's just a 4 pin. So it is an 8 pin connector for CPU power. And the wires kind of move different. So plug that back in. But this is what I was talking about. Like when I show the back, you can see just has a USB coming out of the back, and then you would tie this up and then plug it in. I seen it in the pictures. I thought that was the Ethernet cable. I was like, why is there an Ethernet cable in there? Because it surely looked like it in the pictures. It's like, why is it an Ethernet going inside the case? So that goes into the case to the front USB 3. And we do have a stock cooler. Have decent RAM, but I don't know. It just says it's just two gig sticks and dual channel. And we do have the controller, the little dial for the fans. I think it's fans because it's Cooler Master, but there's no wire. There's no wire actually leading out of it, and it looks like nothing was even soldered to it. Audio's hooked in. USB for the front's hooked in. The card's hooked in. I don't know why they got little tape right here. I have to check that out. I think it's in there pretty solid. Yeah, everything seems to be hooked in. The DVD-ROM's hooked in. Where is the only thing I don't think is hooked in is, yeah, the SATA cables for the hookups on top are not. So you set this sideways and see what we have. So we have a 500 watt 80 plus rated power supply. It's the EVGA 500 watt. I don't know what they had hooked in here, but here we have a, you know, 2 6+2. Can say it has they did say it has power. They turned on to the BIOS, but nothing else. Okay, so it does monitor recognize that there's that I just hooked it in. Hook the USB in. The power switch on the power supply is turned off, so you just plug this in. So where is the power button? Big power button on the top. Like, stuff is dusty in here, but it's not too crazy. Got some red lint or something down here. This, you know, fuzz, red fuzz. Okay, not doing that little mess it was doing before. This does definitely, these fans and stuff do not need to be hooked into that. So you just turn this on. Okay, now we're getting fan spin. And we're getting image. So it says an ASRock motherboard. Like I said, it's an ASRock H81 Pro BTC. No boot device found. I don't have the keyboard up here to hit delete to see what the BIOS even looks like. So, delete. Spam and delete so I can get in the BIOS. Okay. So it shows that we do have so we have an i5 4670K, not a 90K, so we have a 4670K and running at 3.4 gigahertz. The cache size, it says 4 gigs of RAM, a 2 and a 2, so they're 1600 and they are 2 gig sticks. I hate that because there's only 2 DIMM slots on this board. I do have two 8 gig sticks that I plan on adding to this system. Yeah, everything else seems decent. Like the motherboard seems good, right? Boot, security, exit. So yeah, just I'm gonna set this keyboard down. The last thing we can do is try to see if we can get this boot into an OS. And I do have the OS from the i7 3770K, that the 600 and 600. It'd be nice if it was 600. The 64 gigs, so we'll hook that in to see if that works. Let's hit the power button. It's kind of tricky to find. And then also turn the power off, and I'll hit the power button. I like doing that. Make sure we're all good there. Put that in. Hitting the power switch again to turn it back on. I'm definitely going to check this Quadra, this NVIDIA Quadra 600 out to see how it does. If it's a 2 gig card or a 1 gig card. Let's turn this on and actually check this first. So you see if we're going to get a boot off of it or not. If it doesn't boot, it could be just the wrong settings. Well, it's starting. And if it does this and it blue screens, it's likely the drive. So the BIOS might be set wrong and don't do like an auto thing. So it's not, like, I'm stuttering. So you could set in the BIOS like UEFI. This might be, I think this is UEFI. So it should boot, but it might be selected to only boot from Legacy. So it would blue screen because it still wants to try to boot, but when it gets to a certain point, it will blue screen. So yeah, we do have, that was already on. We do have an image, everything's working. Is pull Task Manager up because it's like one of my funnest things to do. I'll move this closer so maybe that'd help with the zoom. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so then, like performance wise, we do have, it's showing in Windows 2 and the same as a BIOS, so you can see it better. i5 4670K, 4 gigs of RAM. It does have two DIMMs in it. I do have like either this set here, so these are two 8 gig sticks, a total of 16 gigs. They're 1600, and And then I also have this set here, which is two 8 gig sticks again, 1600. I don't know what one I'm thinking, you know, what one I'm going to put in here, but I'm going to go with 16 gigs of RAM on this board. Maybe even this video card. It has outs on it. You know, this is one of the systems that I'm going to list just to resell, basically kind of as is. I'm going to fully clean it out again. Check the video card, see if it's worth leaving in here or not. Otherwise, I'll pull it out. Wi-Fi, as long as it hooks in and it works, like if it's showing up now, it's fine. If it has to have drivers, I'm more likely, okay, so it's showing up, so drivers are, you know, Windows sees that, because sometimes you have a Wi-Fi card that you have to download the drivers for. I don't want to do that because I don't want to have to deal with the hassle later on if the person who buys this just decides to put, looks like this is kind of bent upward. So if someone, just put the camera back down so you can, because you can see all that now, and then zoom back out. So I don't want to go through the hassle if someone actually gets this and they're like, oh, I don't trust this person I bought it from. So even that I do a fresh install Windows anyways, the most I'll put on it is Chrome, like what's on here now. And maybe VLC, because it does have a DVD-ROM. I'll put VLC so someone could pop a DVD in it and watch it. So yeah, that's about it on this computer until I fully clean it, and then I'll give you another update on it. I'm going to try to keep my videos down to about 30 minutes, and we're at the 30-minute mark. You can see the system's running. It's been sitting here stable so far. Just setting in Windows, no drivers, all that stuff. You know, the 2 sticks of RAM are showing up. So yeah, seems pretty good. Another computer, and this is yeah, I'm gonna have to say this is a mining motherboard. If I'm correct, leave that in the comments below, because it's an H81 Pro BTC. So I'm assuming it's a motherboard, mining motherboard. But yeah, as long as it works, it's good. Who cares if it has all them extra slots on it if you only need 2 like this system has here. But yeah, I'm gonna call this. The next video I upload of this will be with the cover fixed and this one straightened out and the system fully cleaned. And then, you know, I'm gonna post it and try to minimum try to make 20 off of this system. So I'll probably have it for like maybe 100. I'll list at 100. You know, someone buys it for 100, and then the lowest I probably go, since it probably has 70 in it, be about 90 after full cleaning it and putting a hard drive in it. I don't know what hard drive I'm gonna set in here yet, so I'm waiting for another computer that has an SSD in it and a hard drive. I'm hoping the SSD is a decent size and the hard drive is a decent size. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. The next one, I'll repeat myself, will be of the cleaning of it, so that video wouldn't be too long. And maybe a side video of testing this Quadra 600. Thank you for watching.